connecting your brain and body with interactive games and tests. Why is there no physical activity in today's health physical? Trazer is an holistic technology used to rehabilitate, prevent falls, and improve sport performance. Trazer reports provide you, your clinician, your physical therapist, or athletic trainer objective data to make decisions on your health and performance over time. Measure what matters to change your game. Take the Trazer Challenge. Confidence, growth, connected by Trazer.
At Fusion Sport, we're all about driving human performance. We develop and support a range of technologies all designed to assist people to be their best. Smartabase is used by hundreds of elite sporting organisations across the globe, and more recently has been used by the military and performing arts as well.
Our Smartabase technology has at the heart of it an integrated and connected philosophy. What's different about Smartabase is that it's truly flexible and self-engineerable. That really puts the power into our customers' hands, and it allows them to use it in unique ways that perhaps we haven't even thought of.
We don't tell the rest of the field, but here comes Jemmy Stone.
What's going on, everybody? Your man Eric Wilson here on a Monday night. Happy August to you. And as I said earlier, I'm very thankful that football season is almost back. Thank God for small favors. But as always, let me go ahead and get the crew in here. As always, first up, we do our lady of the house at the Queen of Hoops, the one and only Miss Megan Price is in the building. Megan, what's going on? How are you?
I'm doing really well. How are you?
Well, you know, my Phillies are out of first place, but we're not talking baseball tonight. We'll get to that at a later time.
Okay.
Next up, I want to get my man, NSPN, Florida Sun, Fantasy and Flavors, Mr. Alex Fleming. What's up, brother? How are you?
I'm doing good. Would have done a lot better if I didn't see Megan wearing that trash shirt of the Rangers.
Come on now. You got it. She's in Texas. She's representing. Show some love. Show some love.
I thought Gallup broke her heart.
But she's still a fan.
I mean, it's my team no matter how bad we are. We're atrocious. It's still my team.
Exactly. That's like my next guy, Mr. Michael Carrot-Tenuto, believe in the Pac-12 and his trash team, you know, the Dallas Cowboys. So,
Wow. Well, I was going to say I'm bummed the Phillies fell out of first place, but now I'm really happy the Phillies fell out of first place. So that's cool. I mean, you know, it's all right. It's the international symbol for all Philly sports teams. At some point, they just.
Oh, okay. And you would know definitely about choking, but we'll talk about that, my brother, at a later time. See, it's football season, so shots are getting fired. Last up, our brother who was doing big things just got brought on to Fox Sports, 1340 AM. This is Mr. John Shears in the building, not to mention Sideline Sports Network, not to mention Cardiac Kane. What's up, John?
Soon to be Finn Fanatic on Fansided as well, which covers the Miami Dolphins. So we'll be adding that soon enough. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. You didn't have to dig his grave 4 minutes into the show, like Buried Alive match, but dang. Alex taking shots at Megan, you taking shots at Mike, dang.
Well, John, I figured
we haven't taken a shot at his Ty yet. Ty ain't here.
No, Ty's not joining us tonight. He's got some stuff going on, but we're going to see him on Wednesday. So listen, like I said, it's football season. Things are going to start rolling and heads are going to start flying at some given point in time. But for tonight, I figured what I wanted to do was give everybody an opportunity to kind of give us their thoughts on one of the teams that either they cover or that they love with regards to, I know the preseason has started in the NFL. I'm just excited that we got football back, y'all. That's just me. So I kind of wanted to give everybody the opportunity just to get your initial thoughts. And as always, Miss Megan Price, we're going to start with you, and I'll let you have the floor and talk about those damn Cowboys. Just give me your thoughts, Megan, on what you think and what you've seen so far with this team.
So far, I'm still seeing some of the same narratives that we saw last year. Our defense is in question. And also our backup quarterbacks are in question. I do think Garrett Gilbert looked decent. There was almost an interception in the Cardinals game. He looked better in the Steelers game. But once again, our defense is having major problems. And we sustained a pretty big injury to Gallimore. He dislocated his elbow, so he's out to 6 to 8 weeks. And he was possibly a projected starter. So still some defensive concerns, but it's preseason. Dak is looking better. He had his MRI today, and they said that he is progressing in his shoulder strain. So we should see him soon, but I don't expect to see him in the preseason whatsoever. McCarthy said that he's not going to play him in the fourth game, so that game is only for people who are trying to make roster spots. So if we see him, we'll see him on Saturday in the Texans game, but I don't think so.
All right. Well, speaking of the Cardinals, let me go to the man who actually is in Phoenix, Mr. Mike Caratanudo. And Mike, give me your thoughts on Arizona.
Yeah, I mean, first game, they look pretty good. I agree with what Megan's saying about the backups, although, side note real quick, if Ben DiNucci could win it and actually start some games, we could start a segment of You Got DiNucci'd. It rolls off the tongue. Maybe because I'm Italian, Eric. I don't know. But anyway, the Cardinals didn't look too bad. I like Colt McCoy as a signing. I mean, nothing crazy. Didn't expect anything great from him. But, I mean, he does bring veteran leadership. I mean, he actually beat the Cowboys when he played for the Washington football team in Dallas before. So, I mean, whatever. You didn't see some certain guys. I did like seeing Eno Benjamin. They've been talking about him a lot. And, yes, the fact that he's a Sun Devil, too, even better. But just the training camp he's been having, and to get that touchdown, he had a few big runs, got a touchdown. So, I mean, it was the first game for the Cardinals, and, it's easy to overreact and see some things. I think defensively, I think that secondary will look okay. I mean, again, you got Budda Baker. J.J. Watt didn't play. A bunch of guys, again, a ton of guys didn't play. So it's good to see the backups and the depth that people possibly have. But, yeah, I mean, I like their secondary. Minus Patrick Peterson's going to be tough. But if Chandler Jones is healthy and J.J. Watt said during the game he's going to be out there, it'll be an interesting Cardinals team in the West.
All right, fair enough. Let me go ahead to John Scheer, because I know you're already wearing the shirt tonight, sir. So let me go ahead. Give me your thoughts on your team, the only team to go undefeated through an entire season, the Miami Dolphins.
Thank you. Cowboys can't say that.
Wow.
But, I mean, defense looked really good. Like the common theme is a lot of starters aren't playing. Seems like the coaches really aren't risking their starters. I mean, it tells you a lot that Jalen Waddle's not playing in the preseason, even though he's a rookie. They have big things in store for that guy. There's just a lot of starters that aren't playing, so we really don't get a whole lot out of it. It's more your bubble guys and guys you really don't know about, things like that. But defensively, the Dolphins look good. The offensive line still has issues. They're very young, a lot of talent, but they still haven't put it together. Olsen Jackson, their first-round pick from last year, looked terrible. He got beat a lot and beat bad. It looks like he doesn't know how to play on the offensive line, so that's a concern. But Tua looked really good, aside from one throw, which everybody makes a big deal out of. It's preseason. Who cares? You're going to make throws like that. You're going to take chances. It doesn't count. So you might as well take shots. So overall, the Dolphins looked really solid. I mean, they made Justin Fields look bad. until he faced the third and fourth strings. Don't let the stats fool you. He looked really, really bad in his first preseason game. I know it's his first, but he looked really bad before he got to play third and fourth string. So I'm happy with the performance overall.
And you know what, John, before I get to Mr. Fleming, you said something that was very interesting. You said it's preseason, so these games really don't matter much. But for the new class of quarterbacks that are coming in, we're getting a true assessment of these first round draft picks that were taken. And that's why I went to Alex Fleming. Now, granted, listen, Alex, I know you love you some Tampa Bay all the way live, Super Bowl 55 champion Buccaneers. And you're from Chicago, which they've done something that they've never done, which is draft a black quarterback in the first round. But I specifically wanted you to do Jacksonville because, listen, it's Trevor Lawrence. He's the number one pick. And you, sir, are definitely going to be in that media room. So please, sir, what were your thoughts on the Jacksonville Jaguars with a new head coach in Urban Meyer and, of course, the number one draft pick in Trevor Lawrence?
He's going to struggle out of the gate. He was 6 of 9 for 71 yards. We're going to have to find another guard. I believe that he's going to be sack happy because he's got a long progression. He has a good arm, accurate. He was poised in the pocket. Tim Tebow can't guard you or me. He's throwing gift blocks out there. He's taking up somebody's spot on the 53-man roster. Why don't you just go ahead and make him a coach or put him on the practice squad because he's a waste of space out there, looking like the 8th grader who's 6'5", 300 pounds, and can't block nobody. The defense looks a lot better. They had a slight of pass rush, but then again, Baker Mayfield wasn't playing. First preseason game, it was hot. I can't give it a fair assessment, but I like the weapons and the way they were utilized. Guys, it's Jacksonville. This isn't the 1-15 Jags. This is probably going to be the 7-10 Jags.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Listen, I'll be really quick when it comes to talking about Philadelphia and what I saw. Watching that game against the Steelers, Jalen Hurts, for what he was able to do in the limited amount of time that was given to him, says to me that his progression is coming along. Do I feel he is week one ready? Yes. He has the weapons. I was very impressed with what I saw in Joe Flacco as our backup. Now, that's not to say that I'm comparing this to a Carson Wentz, Nick Foles type of relationship, because I feel that does not exist in Philadelphia. But what I do find interesting is that there seems to be, at least on the offensive side of the ball, there seems to be a unity, if you will. Now, defense, we still need to get better. And I'm still looking at fundamental mistakes that were being made by our defense with the guys who were vying to be a part of that 53-man roster. But overall, I already have low expectations for my team this year. I had a conversation with a friend of mine while I was in New York and also this past weekend about the expectations for Philly. And I'm like, listen, I'm not giving up on my season because I will ride or die with my team, win, lose, or draw, or tie, because we've seen that happen. But at the end of the day, I have to be a realist. And I think the reason why I am is because I know that we have the capability. We just need to put it together. So those are my thoughts on Philadelphia and what I think they're going to do. Now, granted, we all have teams and games coming up. And, for the next couple of weeks, we'll see what these teams are going to do. And when they get down to the 53-man roster, all right, I think we'll be able to better assess how these teams are going to be. But I wanted to also, along with that, because, again, in May, as I said to everybody who follows us on social media, we gave our way too early bird prediction. So tonight, I wanted to give everybody the opportunity to change their mind if they feel necessary. So we're going to start with the AFC, take a real short break. When we come back, like I said, AFC East is first on tap. I don't know if anybody's going to change their mind when it comes to Mama Cara Tenuto and the New York Jets, but we shall see. More with the Sports Arena in just a moment. All right, and welcome back to the Sports Arena. I've got Megan Price from 806, Sideline Sports, Cardiac Kane, and Fox Sports 1340 AM, Mr. John Shear. Believe in the Pac-12, Mr. Michael Caratanudo, and as always, Mr. Alex Fleming, NSPN, Florida Sun, Magic Perspective. Brother got a laundry list of shows. That's what he does. So I want to switch over and let me go ahead and pull up so that everybody can see the predictions that we made. Now, granted, like I said, these were early bird predictions, y'all. And for all those who wanted to chime in and give us a lot of grief because we made certain predictions, people, it was May. All right? Cool your jets. We're going to be a little more accurate. So here we go. AFC East. At this time, does anybody want to change their prediction with regards to the AFC East?
I do.
Mr. Fleming, please.
I'd like to change New England to 9-8.
New England is changing to 9-8. Okay. And what's your reasoning behind that, sir?
I believe Cam Newton's going to save us all. Captain America is much needed in today's society. And I think that roster is better with the addition of Hunter Henry and an injured Jonnu Smith, who will be back. Getting people back and actually having people to throw to, they have a chance to make the playoffs.
Interesting. All right. Mr. Caratanudo, you said you wanted to make a change, sir. Please feel free. What's your change?
Yeah, I'm giving the Jets one more win.
Wow. So you're giving the Jets going to 8-9.
Yes, I am. Still
What's your
finished
reasoning?
from last.
What's your reason behind that, sir?
You know I don't overreact to one game, whether it's regular season or preseason. But look, I believe Sam Darnold should have been there. I mean, we went over this a million times. Alex and I said, take Penei Sewell, leave Sam Darnold there, like go with it. That's how I felt. But look, man, Zach Wilson, again, wasn't a burner, but the way Robert Saleh coaches, his energy, and the way Zach Wilson looked, out of these young Bucks, man, they got the right kid. If Zach Wilson, he's going to be a rookie. Like Alex was saying about Trevor Lawrence, yeah, they're all going to make their mistakes if they start. They're going to throw interceptions. They're on bad teams because the teams weren't any good. But the Jets aren't going to lack motivation once everybody's playing. And I like Zach Wilson. So it's hard to put him over 500, but I'm going to give him 8 wins, man. I think they can do it.
Wow. Okay. All right. Megan, John, anybody want to change their prediction?
I think I'm going to go 13-4 on Buffalo.
Ooh, joining Mr. Fleming.
I am. I like what I've seen out of Webb, and Singletary looks really great. So, I think they have the ability to win one more game for sure.
All right.
Megan ain't crazy.
I never said
baby.
she was. I just
14, baby. Hey, I got 13 wins with you guys. I just added one more.
John Shear, you're awfully quiet, sir.
Yeah,
you're looking at
I wanna
everything,
be-
I'm sure.
I want to be I was generous with the Jets. I'm going to knock them down to 3 wins. I was too nice. Now that we're into football season, and those Jets, this is the same team that almost went defeated last year, right? Aside from switching from Sam Darnold to Zach Wilson.
They have a new coach.
And you get, How's
Yeah,
that worked out? How's that
Coaching
worked out
matters.
for all the other defensive coordinators that went from defensive coordinator to head coach? Oh, wait, it really doesn't work out too well. Okay, so thank you. I'm going to knock them down to 3 wins. This is still basically the same damn team we saw last year that almost went defeated. Remember the Raiders the Raiders almost handed them one.
Cleveland.
They somehow beat
Cleveland.
the Rams.
They went to
Cleveland
LA
almost
and
handed
beat the
them
Rams.
one.
They went to LA and beat the Rams.
Anyway, that game still makes no sense to anybody in the history of the world. That game
Doesn't
makes
matter.
no sense.
Who won the game? Who won the game? Who won the game?
The Browns,
Jets won.
who went and played the Chiefs in the divisional round, almost lost to the same Jets. So it doesn't make sense. I'm going to knock them down to 3 wins. That's still me being generous. They're still the Jets, still laughing stock, still have a rookie quarterback, a head coach that's never, been a head coach in the NFL. So the laughing stock still stays the clown car that they are, the Jets.
Wow.
All right. So for me, I'm actually.
But the
going
Dolphins
to
are going to
make-
win more games than the Patriots, who have a much better defense. That's hilarious.
I am actually going to make a few changes because I gave 3 teams in this division double-digit wins, and I think that has to change. So for myself personally, first things first, Miami, John Shear, I do love you. However, Tua, looking at, I know it's preseason, but you talk about the Jets being the same team. I think the Dolphins are the same team. And I think their strength of schedule is not going to be in their favor. I'm actually knocking Miami down 2 games and saying they go 9-8. Now, alongside that, I'm also saying that it's going to be a tie with the New England Patriots, because even though we have Cam Newton, and to Alex's point, I expect him to show up and show out, I just don't know if it's going to be enough this season for them to get double-digit wins. So I'm knocking them down 1 game. So I'm saying both the Patriots and the Dolphins going 9-8. I'm leaving Buffalo at 12-5 because I have faith in Stephon Diggs and I have faith in Josh Allen. But here is the caveat. Depending on what happens with Cole Beasley, with the whole COVID-19 thing, he was I won't say a security blanket, but he was an impact player when you needed him to be. Now, if the ruling comes down that they can't play if they are not vaccinated, well, then there are going to be guys who are going to be missing. And I have to factor that in. The Jets, Mike, I want to give them more than 5, but I just don't see it. I really don't. I want to believe in them, but I don't see it. So I'm sticking with my 5. But I am dropping Miami and New England both down in games.
I just can't believe I'm the only speaking up for the Patriots. Like, that defense is going to be disgusting. Like, I can't stand them, but the only better defense in the division is Buffalo's. Yeah, Miami played good defense last year. I get it, but dude, Buffalo defensively, and plus I agree with you, Eric, 100% on Cole Beasley, but with Emmanuel Sanders there too, and yes, he's not Cole Beasley, but you still bring in another great receiver, and as we know how we feel on here, who got Diggs, because you ain't covering them one-on-one.
Right.
So,
and they've got a humongous chip on their shoulder.
Oh,
they
absolutely.
want back to that AFC Championship game, and they want Kansas City.
Right.
So we'll talk more about that in the weeks leading up to it. But let's move on to the next one. Wait, there it is. All right. So, Mike, I'm going to ask you the question. Are you changing your 0-17 pick with the Houston Texans, Mike?
Hell no. You guys know I've waffled on a few things, but hell no. No Deshaun Watson. It's a train wreck down there. I feel bad for their new head coach getting his first opportunity with that dumpster fire. They're an absolute joke. Like, they'll probably go, what? If they win preseason games, great. They're going to go 0-17. They are going to be the absolute trash of the division, the NFL. And I feel bad. Again, if they win one game, it's something crazy. But I won't even say, like we always say, teams playing division games, anything can happen. Like, it's not going to be like the Colts losing to the Jacksonville last year. Like, the Texans are 0-17. First year for 17 games, somebody's got to go winless.
All right, Mr. Fleming, I asked you about Jacksonville earlier. Are you changing anything within the AFC South, sir?
Actually, yes, I'm changing quite a few things. First and foremost, I'd like to mention that I told you about that bum, Carson Wentz. And I remember saying that with that bum, they could go 13-4. Without that bum, they'll go 11-6. How's your faith in Carson Wentz now? Call me now for your free reading. Plus, I don't like the fact that Quentin Nelson's not going to be available at the beginning of the season. So I'm changing the Indianapolis Colts from 13-4 to 11-6, which I had already spoke about. And then Tennessee. We did this in May before they acquired Julio. He has to acquire for at least a couple more wins. So unfortunately, I do have the Tennessee Titans winning this division at a 12-5 record. That defense is still trash. I'm not changing a damn thing about what I said. That defense is still trash. But that offense is going to be dynamically better due to the fact that now you have A.J. Brown and Julio Jones. So they moved from 9-8 with a trash-ass defense to 12-5 with a trash-ass defense.
All right. Megan or John, anybody want to change their picks?
I gotta agree with Alex on the Titans. You got to. I want to go up, but to 11 and 7 or 6, 11 and 6, and then I'm gonna leave the Colts though. I'm gonna leave them at 12 and 5 because I'm
Wow.
kind of on the same mind frame that I think that they can do it with or without Carson Wentz, and I believe in their backup quarterback. So.
All right, John Scheer.
Remember, however many games you take off or add onto a team, you're going to have to take the equivalent for other teams on and off as well.
That's not true. No, you
yes,
don't.
it's very true. Because if you take a win away from the Jets, you got to add it somewhere else. Somebody else has got to add a win because they got to. They lose one more game. That means somebody else gains a win.
Last year, didn't Tennessee?
I'm just saying overall,
Tennessee and Indy had the same record.
Remember that.
Right.
Right. Anyway, Texans stay the same for me. They're terrible, but I still think they find a way to walk into 2 wins. The Jags, I mean, remember this is the number 1 pick in the draft. Oh yeah, that's right. So they're going to be terrible. Trevor Lawrence, he looked all right, but I mean, his release also kind of was a little bit slow. It wasn't the fastest release I've ever seen. So I would like to see him work on the mechanics a little bit and get the ball out quicker. Because their line isn't the best. It's not terrible, but it's not the best. And there will be teams, going after Trevor Lawrence. So, and he's not the most mobile guy. So you want to get that ball out quick. You don't have the best receivers. Like I said, this was the number 1 pick in the draft for a reason. So you want to see a quicker release out of Trevor Lawrence. I didn't like the release I saw, but and then the biggest thing, the Colts, I got to knock them down to 11 and 6 personally because the Carson Wentz thing, the Quentin Nelson thing, then move the Titans up just 1 win. Julio Jones does not account for 3 wins. Can't give him a war of 3. You just don't give many players a war of 3. That doesn't happen. Plus, that's banking on that guy actually plays an entire season, which who the hell knows when he'll do that again. So give the Titans 1 more win at 10 and 7, and then knock the Colts down. But the Colts still win the division.
All righty. Mike, I asked you about Houston, but did you want to change any of your other picks? You don't have to. Listen.
No.
Okay.
No, I mean, I'm torn because I mean, with Indy again, I get the Carson Wentz thing, but I mean, that defense is just nasty. Like to me, they're the. I don't know. I mean, I'd say behind Buffalo. I'd say behind. Like they're right there. I think with Buffalo, what Buffalo can be, what New England can be, and I think that Indianapolis's defense is right there, and I love defense. I mean, I could see them both. I will say this: I could see them both finish tied again through the division, like they were last year at 12 and 5. But I'm going to leave my picks as they are because I want to like with what Julio does. I think it'll be a hell of a race. But I mean, if they're that good, there's 2 wins against. There's obviously 2 wins against Houston and 2 wins against Jacksonville. So I think for both of those teams, but we'll see what happens. I mean, if Tennessee sweeps them, I would be that. I mean, that would obviously give them the division, but that defense is just too nasty for me.
All right. When I look at this team, let me pull it up here real quick. I am going to make some changes, and I want to say thank you because you guys have really got my creative energy flowing here, thinking like, what about this? What about that? Maybe it transitions back to our what if show that we did last Wednesday.
Well, what if? How did you give Houston the most wins out of all of us? How generous are you?
True.
Well, Mike and Alex, I'm glad you brought that up because I am changing. That is one of my changes. So, Alex, I'm glad you finally saw the light and decided to give the true record of the Indianapolis Colts at 11 and 6 because I am actually dropping them down and going 11 and 6 as well with the Indianapolis Colts. But I'm also dropping Houston to 3 and 14. Just because I've seen nothing and nothing is going to impress me. Now, does that mean I'm giving Tennessee anything? No. I think very much like what I've discussed in the NFC East, I think those 2 teams are going to vie they're going to both be 10 and 6 going into the last game of the regular season. And whichever team wins, I'm giving it to Indianapolis at 11 and 6, saying they are going to be the victor. I'm still, you know what? I'm still a betting man. I'm going to gamble that Carson for the second half of the season, I think is going to maybe serve Mr. Fleming a piece of humble pie. And you know what? For all the talk that there has been about him and what he's been unable to do because of his injuries and not being able to play a full season, I still got a little faith in him. So that's what I'm going with. I'm dropping the Colts down 1, and I'm dropping Tennessee down 1 as well.
And Eric, you know what's funny? The last week of the season, Tennessee plays Houston and Indy plays Jacksonville. If they're both 10-6, they would both be going for their 11th wins against those two teams.
Right.
If all else fails for Carson Wentz, he could be a stunt double for Prince Harry.
I think the difference maker in Indianapolis is going to be Ellinger. And I think it's not just going to be his skill. I think it's going to be what happened to him off the field. Heart comes into play, and it's something that you can't always predict. And it's either going to make you or break you, the stuff that he's been going through off the field. So I think it's going to make him. I think he's going to be a breakout star.
I think Michael Pittman Jr. is going to have a huge year, too. Not enough people talking about that kid. I mean, I saw him play, obviously. I know you have, Alex, yes, but I've seen him at SC. And, again, if Wentz is healthy, Alex, to your point, I get what you're saying, but he doesn't need a young quarterback throwing to him. Wentz stays healthy, and you have T.Y. Hilton, you have Michael Pittman Jr. along with the running game. Yeah, that's just, and that defense.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Michael Pittman Jr. have a big year.
I mean, you had Philip Rivers last year who's better than Wentz in that run game, and Pittman didn't do anything, and Hilton didn't do anything.
Well, Pittman was a rookie last year.
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't do anything.
Name a rookie receiver that's ever – okay, name a rookie receiver that's ever led the league in yards, touchdowns, or receptions. Oh, I'm sorry. There's never been one.
Justin Jefferson broke the Randy Moss's rookie record for yards in a season last year.
Yeah, rookie record for yards. Did not lead the league in yards.
If you break one of Randy Moss's records.
Okay, right. Randy Moss still never led the league in – he didn't lead the league in receiving yards his rookie year. No rookie's ever done it and never will.
Well, that still remains to be seen, Mike.
Fine.
Still remains to be seen.
In the 100-some-odd year history, no one has, and if they do, fine, I will give that person credit one day. But good luck with the rookie wide receiver doing that against all pros that can run 4.4s and below, or 4.5s and down.
All right, we're going to take another break. When we come back, we are going to do the AFC North and then, of course, the AFC West. You're watching us here on the Sports Arena. Back in a moment.
Generations Physical Therapy has been the Tri-State's leader in physical therapy services for over 20 years. And now we have a convenient location right in the heart of the capital city of Charleston, just off I-64. With convenient parking and flexible hours, your access to physical therapy is second to none. Plus, Snap Fitness is also in sight with 2 floors of gym equipment and sports enhancement training through A-Game Sports Performance. So whether you're needing hands-on physical therapy or looking to get results in our gym, our family's ready to help yours. Generations Physical Therapy and Snap Fitness. Multiple services, multiple locations. Experience you can count on.
And welcome back into the Sports Arena. I'm your man, Eric Wilson, here with the entire crew. We got Megan, John, Alex, and Mike. So let's keep it going, ladies and gentlemen. And we are going to go to, like I said, the AFC North. So, as always, let me ask the question, does anybody want to change their mind with regard to this? Megan Price, anything?
No. I like it.
Okay. John Shear.
I want to give Cleveland one more win. Give them 11-6. They look really good. They have a really solid team. That guy from Notre Dame, I don't know how to say his name, but he looked really, really good tackling his first game. So they're still bums in Cleveland. Baker Mayfield's still a bum. City is just full of trash, including the Browns, but give them 11 wins. That's what I'm sticking with.
Alex Fleming.
I'd like to give Tomlin one more win. This will be his first losing season, but he's going to go 8-9, not 7-10. That last 6 games is murderer's row, but I think they're the reason why Tennessee falters and doesn't win the division against the Colts. So other than that, yeah, Baltimore's division. They won't protect Burrow. Cleveland's full of bombs, and Pittsburgh has their first losing season since 2003.
Now, you're saying Cleveland is a bunch of bums, but you still give them double-digit wins, sir.
Because they're not bums.
They're not relevant, guys. They're really, really not relevant. They got a paper cake schedule. They have a top-notch defense. They got weapons all around the bum Baker Mayfield, who's going to get credit for the victories.
But the question is, can they get more wins than the Ravens? That's the question.
No. They can't beat the Ravens.
No, they have a Raven problem.
Okay.
Sounds like another article on the way from the one Mr. Alex Fleming. Mike Carrot-Tenuto, any changes with you, sir?
Yeah, I guess I'm going to be the kid on Sesame Street that doesn't belong because I'm knocking the Ravens down to 12-5. I just don't like – I like their defense and I love Lamar Jackson. But injuries, banged up, this whole – I think, again, then players are handling it the way they want to handle it with COVID and they can do what they want as we talked about. But I still got them winning the division, but I'm taking them at 12-5.
Wow. Okay. Mr. Fleming, sometimes great minds do think alike, sir. I'm knocking 2 teams down in this division. I'm knocking both Cleveland and Pittsburgh down. Mike Tomlin will still have a winning season, but it will be at 9-8. The Cleveland Browns, though, will go 10-7. And here's my reason. And here's my reason why with that. I just don't have faith in Baker. I've never changed my stance on that. You can have probably the best running back tandem in all of football, and you can have top name wide receivers. You bring in an Austin Hooper to help with your tight end position. All of that's great. But if your quarterback spends more time shooting commercials in Progressive Field?
First Energy Field.
Sorry, First Energy Field.
Trash is trash. Don't matter.
When you spend all your time making commercials in that stadium as opposed to winning games in that stadium, I can't give you 11 wins. And even with a cupcake schedule, as you call it, Alex, if there's one thing I know, and I don't like saying this about the young man because A, I don't know him, and B, I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. But when things fall into place, should you not be able to execute? And I think that's the biggest piece when it comes to Baker. So like I said, I'm still saying Mike Tomlin is 9-8. But Cleveland goes 10-7.
I would like to touch on the Steelers a little bit real quick.
Please.
Before we move on. For somebody that says Steelers 8-9 question mark, my friend Alex over there, Alex King, that I work with. Steelers have no offensive line. We saw this in preseason already. Najee Harris is going to get crushed. He's going to get a lot of touches. And your one injury for Ben Roethlisberger away from having no quarterback is I don't believe in Dwayne Haskins. He's not the guy that's going to do it in this division. So really, you don't have a whole lot on the offensive side of the ball. You have young receivers, but they're inconsistent, and I don't trust that offensive line. It all comes out of the offensive line, which is in shambles, and that is going to be the Achilles heel, and that's why I can only see them going 8-9 at best. You don't have an offensive line, you don't survive. You don't survive in the black and blue division that is the AFC North without a line. You just don't.
Hey, Eric, when John Shear and I went to Cleveland, we didn't even roll down our windows because the Cleveland streets smelled like bourbon streets during Mardi Gras, bro. It was just so foul and nasty. It's like, this is a city, and you smell like tuna fish.
I saw I saw no homeless people, but I saw a lot of bums. Just so you
Agreed.
know.
And that doesn't make sense to me.
Well, it's going to be funny when I mean, they drafted Newsome, one of the best defensive backs. They get that Owusu, the guy you're talking about out of Notre Dame. Like, dude, their defense just got deeper. Like,
okay, but Mike, we're not talking defense, though, Mike. We're talking offense.
Well, they're going to be able to keep offenses out of the end zone. I'm not saying they're going to shut people out of
Baker will be able to keep them out of the end zone, too.
All right. Well, not with that running game. Oh, so now Kareem Hunt and Chubb are trash? They're just going to get tackled behind the line of scrimmage every time?
No.
Okay, thank you. That's my point. They're going to move the chains. They're going to chew up clock. Look, if Baltimore doesn't figure out the passing game, Cleveland's going to be sitting right there. Because according to all of us, Pittsburgh isn't.
No.
I'm just saying. So
you can't get started by a division rival like
but
that.
You're going to tell me that okay, so where's Cleveland's defense in this division then? Where's Cleveland's defense?
Right below all those extra wins y'all are giving Cincinnati. I cannot believe that. What are y'all thinking?
Megan, you know what, Megan? I'm with you, Megan. I'm going to go down to 4 for Cincinnati.
Megan, I'm not messing with you right now. I'm going to let you go. I have to address my man Michael over here. Okay. Why do you think they made all of those defensive moves in Cleveland? Because they have a Baltimore problem. They needed to get faster on the edges. So you pick up Jadeveon Clowney. Myles Garrett is having a good season and won't have to deal with the racists because Mason Rudolph's probably going to get traded soon. Why do you think they went out and got all of those corners? A, so they could cover. B, for speed downfield. Why do you get a 6'4" corner out of Northwestern by the name of Greg Newsome? A, so that you could try to pick off Lamar Jackson. B, so you could catch him downfield because the defense has to respect.
Well, he's a solid nickel, but he's going to be an inside corner because where did Lamar Jackson go most time last year? To the tight end. They had nobody that could guard. Cleveland didn't have anybody with size that could guard him inside.
And on the Monday night thriller, where he got out of the bathroom, where you said, we're going to call you and mess with you if Cleveland comes back to win. And I ended up sleeping like a baby.
Hey, Eric said that too.
Who did he hit? Not
Absolutely,
the tight end, but Hollywood.
Wait, Mike. Why are you bringing my name in this, Mike? Leave me out of this, man.
Okay, fine. I did it. You're right, Alex. I did it all. That's fine. Eric didn't have a piece of it.
No, I said it.
I agree.
No, hold up. I'll take my lumps. I said it. I was the first one to be like, Alex, I'm fitting to call your phone. I said, don't go into hiding. Don't put it on silent. Because I said, if Cleveland finds a way to come back and win this, bruh, you're right. I'll take that L, Alex, because
Alex,
you were right.
It's a matchup game. It is a matchup game.
And styles make fights.
Right. And I'm just saying, if you run the ball, because as much as people say pass, every postseason, and I've said it a million times, if you always hear the best coaches say, if we don't run the ball and we can't stop the run, we're not winning the game. Well, Cleveland's going to be able to shove it down people's throats.
I agree with you. Here's my thing, and I want to get Megan and John in this really quick because I want to have this conversation, something that we did not talk about, but I did bring up with another individual. What about Lamar? Lamar Jackson, El Freaky, has had not one, but 2 bouts with the coronavirus.
Right.
Is he going to be healthy this season? Because if he's not, aside from Alex, can someone tell me who the backup quarterback for Baltimore is?
No. And is his regression because of COVID?
It's not Trace McSorley.
It's not Trace anymore?
Not Trace McSorley.
It's not Trace McSorley.
He got hurt.
No, Huntley's in Green Bay, I thought.
No. Huntley.
There's more than one Huntley. Yeah, not that bum backing up Jordan Love. No.
My apologies. But, I mean, that's my question. I mean, we're all sitting here. When I look at this, we're all sitting here, and we're all basically saying that this is Baltimore's division. We got 13 for Alex, 11 for Megan, 13 for Mike, Ty, John. I said 12.
Well, I said back to 12 now.
But we don't know that.
All right, you're changing that.
We don't know the long-term effects of COVID, so I have to assume that Lamar will be all right because I don't know. We don't know if Cam Newton was affected by the coronavirus last year or not. We assume that he was, but we don't know. So we don't know if Lamar will be affected by this or not. So I just have to assume that he'll be all right. This isn't like a torn ACL he's coming off. This is something we really don't know much about.
Okay. Let me just go ahead and address it. Go ahead, Megan.
Go ahead, Megan.
I feel like his regression isn't from COVID. I feel like he had some issues, and I think Lamar is his worst enemy. He gets in his head, and I got the Browns taking the division.
All right. So are we saying that Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens, and I'm playing devil's advocate here, are we saying, Megan Price, that the Baltimore Ravens are masking Lamar Jackson's injuries and using COVID as an excuse?
No, I'm saying that it's just my opinion. I don't think they're doing it intentionally trying to mask anything. I just think that his regression is not because of COVID. I think it's because of him being in his head.
All right, Alex Fleming, I'm going to give you the final word on this, and then we are going to go to the last four in this division, sir. Conference, excuse me.
Hi. Can anyone tell me who the former receivers coach was in 2020 before they became the head coach of the Houston Texans in 2021? Yeah, that same bum that back in 2014 couldn't get a damn touchdown pass to a Kansas City wide receiver. Number one. Number two, Des Bryant's no longer on the roster because he said himself that's just how they do things here. They picked up Rashawn Bateman and Wallace. They have Miles Boykin and acquired Sammy Watkins. And they took away photography and videotape during Baltimore's practices. So that lets you know Lamar's zipping that thing up and down the field. Number three, Baltimore had the best running game and has the best running game in that division. You can talk about Chubb and Hunt all you want to, but Baltimore's been leading that division in rushing for the last 3 years. So there is no digression. I believe Baltimore is the team to beat, and Lamar Jackson's a generational talent. Y'all can hate on him all you want, but like Roy Jones, he's going to pull y'all must have forgot at the end of the season when Baltimore re-wins the division a game.
Did anybody on this panel, excuse me, Megan, Alex Fleming, did anybody on this panel change their Baltimore Raven pick? Alex Fleming, did anybody change their Baltimore Raven pick?
Somebody gave them a loss. I mean, I don't see it.
Okay, I'm sorry. Mike went down 1, but still is double-digit wins. Ain't nobody on this panel hating on the Ravens, but I just got to ask those questions based on what I see. And I think, to Megan's point, I think she's absolutely right. And thank you, Megan, for dropping that knowledge on it. I think it's too much mental for Lamar because during the regular season, we've seen Lamar Jackson do great things. Jackson 5, come back from the bathroom and beat a team on Monday Night Football. The man has the leg and arm strength to get the job done. For some reason, when he gets to the postseason, I think he just gets too much like he has to be Cam Newton 2.0, put it all on my shoulders. I got to be Superman, Batman, and the entire Justice League when you working with the same folks you just played 16 games with, now 17 games. So that's why I'm saying I have to ask those questions. You know what I mean? I'm not hating on Lamar. I love Lamar. I want Lamar to be successful. I want Lamar to be the third black quarterback to win a Super Bowl. Fourth, excuse me.
No, thank you.
So, John, listen, man.
I'm definitely not hating on him, and I'm never going to hate on an African American quarterback because I mean it doesn't happen very often, so it's never going to happen. You're not going to see me do that. But
it sounds like you won't get an invite to Brownstown.
Don't worry, you're not missing anything.
All right, let's move on to the last division here, and thank you everybody for tuning and chiming in with us. So we've got the AFC West. And I'll start this one. I love Patrick Mahomes, and I agree what they did this offseason to protect that young man warranted me saying 15 wins. And because Patrick Mahomes, listen, when he says he wants to go undefeated, which in this case would be 20-0, okay, he's still got Andy Reid. He's still got Travis Kelce. He's got everything. But we know, number one, when it comes to division games, anything and everything is possible. And number two, people have gotten better in the entire AFC conference. Forget this division. Let's talk about the entire AFC conference. We just talked about Baltimore getting better. Mike is saying that New England's defense is going to be, people are sleeping on them, if you will. I think the emergence of a second-year Justin Herbert is going to be something that people are going to stand up and really pay attention to this year. So this is where I'm flipping. I'm dropping Kansas City down to 14-3, and I'm giving the LA Chargers 10-7. Those are my changes. I will defer to Miss Megan Price.
No, I agree with that because I picked that 14-3 for Kansas City and 10-7 for the Chargers. I think the Chargers, I really love their quarterback. I think he showed us quite a bit last year, and I like what they're doing over there. So I think they've made some improvements. Broncos, no, I'm sticking with everything I picked on this. I don't believe in the Raiders, and I think the Broncos catch maybe 4.
Okay. Mike?
I want to give the Raiders one more win.
Okay. What's your reasoning behind this? Just curious.
I just think, well, to a point, it seems like everybody's doubting him and hating on him. I'm a Derek Carr. I love Derek Carr. You have Darren Waller. Again, yes, things need to go their way. Hudson's here in Arizona. I know that's insanely crazy for Raiders fans, but I don't know. I think they'll be there. I think Denver will struggle the most because I think they'll be going back and forth between Locke and Bridgewater. And not that I think both of them are bad, but they're not going to get any consistency. So I'm still sticking with the healthy Chiefs at 15-2, the Raiders at 8-9, the Chargers I love at 11-6. I wouldn't be shocked. I'm not changing. I wouldn't be shocked if they finish at 12-5. But yeah, the Broncos 6 wins. Yeah, I think it's about right.
All right, Mr. John Scheer.
Yeah, I was going to drop the Broncos down to 4 wins because their quarterbacks suck, both of them. Let's just put that out there. But Jamal Williams really does look solid. I mean, the first game he did look good. I got to give him the credit. So I'm going to keep him at 5 just because I think they're going to turn to him eventually, get rid of Melvin Gordon, who's always hurt or fumbles or whatever. I think they're eventually just going to do the right thing and go to Williams. And that'll be that. And that'll keep them at 5 because their quarterbacks are not going to be carrying them to 5 wins. So they're going to have to rely on the defense and the run game just to squeak the 5 wins. And I'm going to move the Raiders up to 6 wins. I think they're going to be a little bit better than that just because the Broncos aren't very good. They'll feast on the Broncos. So, move the Raiders up. Just 1 win. I think they'll be a little better than I gave them credit for. I was a little hard on the Raiders, so I got to give them a little more credit.
And again,
I was really hard on the Raiders. I don't believe in them.
Again,
I like Derek Carr.
Is not a top 10 quarterback. Just
You're saying they're
no.
barely
Derek
better
Carr's
than
a
the
good
Texans.
quarterback, but my thing is, this is a different type of sport. This is like soccer. One player is not going to win games for you, whether he's the quarterback or not. One player, it's not going to happen.
All right. Mr.
Yeah,
Fleming, I'll pull this.
Barely better than the Texans. That's what I just can't see that.
No, I'm saying
Nobody
they're
in
the same. I gave them the same record.
She did. She did.
That quarterback situation in Denver is bad.
All right, Mr. Fleming, let me go ahead and go to you, sir. When you look at this AFC West, your predictions from May, sir, are you making any changes?
No, I stand by my word. It's all part of the plan. Denver's defense is solid. It's Javonte Williams, not Jamal. Javonte Williams.
Javonte, Jamal, whatever.
They actually have a Jamal. That's why I'm letting that one slide. But yes, they have a Javonte and a Jamal Williams. But it's Javonte Williams at the University of North Carolina who's going to take over Melvin Gordon's position. Drew Lock, bum. Teddy Bridgewater, a respectable showman. Not quite a bum. He at least tries. Offensive line probably can't hold up. And they got an excellent receiving core. They're praying like dissension folks that Aaron Rodgers comes to them next year because they actually will have the squad to beat with Fuller and Surtain and that defense. But I'm not changing a damn thing. But I do want to mention one thing. One player can make a difference. John said that a player's war can't be 3. That dynamic offense with Julio Jones, with A.J. Brown and Derrick Henry changes the dichotomy of that offense. So, yes, one player can have an impact on how many wins you can have.
Oh, he has to play the entire season.
Well, I think he wanted to get the hell out of Atlanta. Have you seen Atlanta? Bro, the only thing to win in Atlanta is the fact that everybody on the team is vaccinated. Bunch of bums. They had to win at something.
They're first in the NFC South right now, 100% vaccinated.
No, I do believe one player can make a difference in a game, but not a season like that. No, they're maybe 2-3 wins. That's it. That's all.
All right. Well, we are going to leave the conversation there. And we thank everybody for tuning in with us here on the Sports Arena tonight. Wednesday night, we're going to do the NFC and see if anybody, including our man Ty Ray, who said he will be joining us on Wednesday night, if anybody's got any changes that they want to make. I will update all of this and make sure that our listening and viewing audience has the opportunity to see this. Mr. Fleming, please.
I just want to say that the Atlanta Falcons are like a blown Firestone tire. They just never seem to amaze me on how bad they can be. New Orleans Saints fans, you need to curb your delusions. You guys are not at the top of the pinnacle no more. You guys got hit in the leg. You're handicapped now. You're still better than the Falcons, but that's not saying much.
Are they?
The Falcons are like the American Horror Story. They're the baby that nobody wanted, so you hide it in the basement. But yeah, the Saints got the key to the basement.
I mean, then what's Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill?
Taysom Hill.
Yeah, but they got players requesting
They turned over like 6 times the other day.
Taysom Hill reminds me of Charlie Sheen from Hot Shots Part 2. He's not Rambo. He's the guy who's trying to play Rambo. You know, he's the guy who's trying to play quarterback. That's what Taysom Hill reminds me of. And Jameis, I mean, hell, I know Jameis better than most. I've seen 5 years of Jameis. The man has immense talent, and he has had LASIK surgery. But a tiger doesn't change his stripes. He's going to turn the ball over, but he's their only hope. He's their Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Mr. Fleming, our good friend from the three-point conversion, Mr. Danny Thompson, has stated the Atlanta Falcons are a playoff team.
How much does Danny want to bet?
I want to bet. I want to bet. I want to bet. Show me the money. 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 Show me the money.
Kicking their legs in the
water.
water.
Bet, Danny? What
Danny
do you want to bet?
Kicking his legs in the water.
Show me that money.
Calls come up and get him.
I just wanted to let you know. I just wanted to let you know he did come through.
Danny tried to get out the boat. He doesn't know he started bleeding. Now the sharks are coming.
Danny drinking right now. Danny drunk on a Monday night. That's why he made that statement.
Hey, drunk, sober or not, I want to bet Danny.
I'm just letting y'all know.
Hey, look.
Our friend.
To quote Dame, bet $1 million.
You know what I'm saying? I'll even go to the ATL like Luda. Bet 100. Bet a stack.
Danny, come find me. You know I'm not hard to find. Chocolate. Hey, yo, Magic City Monday night on me. If the Atlanta Falcons make it. Okay. For real.
Alex, you know we still live, right? So.
I'm waiting for him to drop that the Atlanta Falcons are going to win the division. That's what I'm waiting for.
He just said a playoff team.
He said a playoff
maybe
team.
they win the division.
He played it safe and said playoff team. He knew better than that.
He said it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us. We're going to go ahead and get out of here. Like I said, join us Wednesday night when we do the NFC. And the question that I'm putting in everybody's ear right now, of the starting rookie quarterbacks, which one has impressed y'all the most? We're going to discuss that and give our NFC predictions Wednesday night on the Sports Arena. For Alex Fleming, Mike Caratenuto, John Shear, Megan Price, our man Ty Ray, your man Eric Wilson, everyone have a great night, and we will definitely see y'all on Wednesday. See ya.